Hello and welcome to the video. In this video I'd like to show you a couple of things from FXT Technology. Now this is some of the latest stuff that I've got in from these guys. FXT are an outfit that I've been looking at for quite a while now, and FXT are the people who manufacture an awful lot of the technology that you've probably already bought with a different branded sticker on the front. But FXT recently decided to start developing their own products and selling it under their own brand, and so far the stuff I've had in from FXT has been really good, and I've actually used it in lots of different places. In fact, one of the cameras that we're going to talk about I've popped in the nose of my new ZOHD Dart XL, so that hopefully gives you an idea of how comfortable I am with the tech. But in this video I'd just like to show you 3 or 4 of the latest things to hit the bench and give you an idea of what's available. The first one is this thing here. This is the FXT FX108. It is a little cable that actually boosts the 5 volt out of a USB power bank up to 9 volts. And at the end of that, it has the kind of adapter that you'd plug into the side of FPV goggles or screens. Now, this is one of those things you have to be slightly careful with. It will only supply a maximum of an amp at that 9 volts. But if you don't want to keep buying specialized batteries, or you have quite a few big hefty power banks around already that you use for recharging phones or tablets on the go, then you can use this cable to use the same 5 volt output to power your FPV gear too. The next bit of technology is one of the latest cameras from FXT. This is the Mars Pro V2. Now the Mars Pro was a good camera, and the V2 has a couple of additional improvements. It's NTSC and PAL switchable. It's also 16:9 and 4:3 switchable, and it has a better wide dynamic range than the version 1. 1000 TVL lines, on-screen display, 5 to 36 volt input, image flip, and all the cables and associated pieces come in the box as well. But the 2 bits of technology I really want to show you are these next 2 pieces. This first one here is the FXT Smart Gesture T82, which is the Venus Pro camera, and the FX868T, which is a little micro video transmitter, but it has some really neat tricks up its sleeve. So standard wiring here, you have the standard inputs and outputs, and also a smart audio connection, so you can connect it up to your Betaflight or iNav flight controller and control it as normal. PIP mode, 25 and 200 milliwatts with video transmitter. The only thing to be careful of with this, it only runs at 5 volts DC, so you can't plug it into lots of different things. You have to run it from a 5 volt power supply, so potentially you're going to be running it at 5 volts out of some kind of power distribution board or on a decent flight controller. But let me just show you how it actually works. So here it is on the bench, and the cool thing is, using one single joystick that you plug in, you can control not only all of the camera settings as you would expect to with a joystick. You can change things like the aspect ratio, the different PAL NTSC settings, the different scene settings as well. But as well as controlling the camera with the little joypad thing that you get in here, you can also control the video transmitter. You can go in there, you can change the power settings, the band and frequency. And the last trick it has up its sleeve is something called gesture control. So if you put your hand over the lens when it's powering up, when the FXT logo is on the screen, you can access the settings for both the scene type, indoor, outdoor, twilight, whatever it is. You can also select the power settings for the FPV and flick through the saved channels as well. So you don't have to even have the joystick if you're at the field and realize you forgot it. By pushing your hand over the screen for 2 seconds at a time, you can change the settings just by putting your hand over the lens and using gesture control. So if you have a situation where you don't have a smart audio flight controller around and you don't have a lot of space, then this is quite a cute option, because with one joystick you just plug it in. You can not only change all your camera settings, but you can also go and change all the settings in the video transmitter as well. Now, I've had situations where I put video transmitters inside of fixed wings, and just having the cable out on the outside so I could plug the joystick in to change all the settings is going to be an awful lot easier, because invariably the way it works, and this video transmitter is the same, has little lights on it that change to kind of show you what's going on, but you have to be able to understand what the lights are telling you, and that usually means that you have to keep looking up on Google the manual for whichever video transmitter it is to try and figure out which lights you need for the band and frequency and power setting that you're interested in. So this is something that I am really impressed with. I think this is a really cool idea. Being able to use a joystick to control the entire FPV system is a really cute way of doing it. The last bit of technology I want to show you from FXT is kind of following on in the same vein. So this is a slightly more traditionally sized FPV transmitter. This is the Black Knight, or as they call it, the FX878T, and it has all of the standard connections on the bottom that you would expect. But on the side of it, it also has the little port for the joystick as well. Now it comes with a SMA pigtail, so you can pop it pretty much anywhere you want, and the cable that comes supplied fits neatly into the back of any modern camera. I'll stick it in the back of this FXT camera for the demo. And again, using the smart on-screen display allows you to change all of the settings, not only of the Black Knight itself, to change the video transmission settings, the power, the band, the frequency, and all of that goodness. It also allows you to access the camera settings to change how those work as well. Now this one, the output power, it has disabled the output power, 0.1, 25, 200 and 400 milliwatt settings, pulls at about 300 milliamps at about 12 volts. This one has a much wider voltage range, so 7 to 28 volts, so typically you're going to be running this directly from your battery, NTSC and PAL switchable, and a weight of about 6.4 grams excluding the antenna and cable. But I just wanted to show you these couple of things because I personally haven't seen this in a video transmitter before. Video transmitters tend to be either dumb, where you just have a little button that you press and you have to work out what the LED lights are trying to tell you, or use something like a smart audio connection up to a flight controller to change the settings that you want to through something like a Betaflight or iNav on-screen display. I love the fact that this is an option for those of us that want to put FPV inside a model and want to be able to access and control everything in a very easy to understand way using a menu, and not have to resort to taking things apart to get into that little button or constantly trying to find out what those little LEDs mean. So hopefully for those of you that are looking to build a little FPV wing or fixed wing in the coming months, this is something you can consider. The only thing I guess that was missing from the Black Knight is the smart audio connection, but there's lots of choice for video transmitters that support things like smart audio. If you found that video useful or like the content, then please hit the like and subscribe button down below. If you want to go the extra step, you can become a Patreon of the Painless 360 channel and help provide support for what I do here. All the videos created here are put into playlists, so if you're interested in a particular topic, have a look at the playlist, and they all are organised in there to make them easier to use. If you're not sure if there's a video for your particular problem or topic you want to know more about, then add Painless 360 to the Google search term that you're interested in, and that should find the video, article or content about the particular thing that you're interested in having a look at.